Welcome to Live at the Blue Box. It is This Week in Geek, our first podcast for the night. Today is June 20th, 2015. Should we introduce ourselves?
Sure.
Let's start on the end, down there.
My name is Alol Kanitsa, and I do a lot of podcasts, and I keep getting added to other shows, like tonight.
Apparently I'm a new one tonight.
And I've also started a few of my own new ones. But
yeah, what are you talking about? You've added to League of Geeks, so...
the Sports Geeks.
Yes.
But yes, I do the Enough Said podcast, and of course, This Week in Geek for Southgate Media Group, and also I have my own shows called The League of Geeks, so that's Geeks with a Z, and we just spun off into Sports Geeks, and that's also with a Z, because we are hip-hop.
Yes. Or can't spell. How about you in the middle?
Or that's the only website that was available, so we had to take that.
We tried for League of Geeks, but...
3 E's. Oh, my name is Chris Mao. I am co-owner of Blue Box Cafe and co-host of several podcasts on the Southgate Media Network.
Yes. Too many to name at this point. And I'm Rob Southgate. I'm on a lot of stuff. So why don't we... co-owner of Southgate Media Group. And hey, Meerkat, we're on live. And thank you, everybody, for coming. And I hope you enjoy this. It is interactive, so if you want to yell at me, feel free. If you want to boo, direct it here. Down there.
Nobody wants to boo me. I'm amazing.
I know, you're amazing.
Amazing.
That's amazing with a Z.
Amazing.
All right, let's jump into it. Does anyone have that one they want to start with? Yes. Oh, from the audience. Holy cow, she's calling an audible.
Are you from Des Moines? I just want to know.
Hey, spoiler.
Blah, 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 blah.
I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't know who that is.
Can't talk about that. And Jenny, by the way, there is no confirmation that is what happened.
Correct.
It just appeared to happen.
So here's how we'll say it. Apparently, on Game of Thrones, a big death happened, which, come on, there's always a big death.
Yes.
So this was a big death, but we don't know for sure that it's a death. I'm not going to call it geek news. I'm going to say a geek rumor.
There we go.
Yes, and we got to sit on it for a year.
Exactly.
So, all right. Anyone else?
Jurassic World opened up this weekend to huge numbers.
Did you guys see it?
Of course, yeah. We actually reviewed it on the League of Geeks podcast. So if you want to hear that review, check out the League of Geeks. It opened up to the most ridiculous opening weekend I think I've ever heard.
It said number one.
208 million. 208.8 million.
I heard 242.
That's a warm-up. That's a warm-up for Star Wars. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, 208, and then worldwide it was 540.
That's what I saw, yeah.
And that was, but the worldwide, which is awesome because $500 million in an opening weekend is crazy. But a lot of these movies nowadays don't open worldwide on the same day.
Right.
So that's great. But, here's the other thing about that story. Again, 'cause I'm a Marvel fanboy, and the fact that it beat Avengers kind of hurt. But the fact that Kevin
Maybe if
Feige,
it was a better movie, it wouldn't have beaten it.
It wasn't better than the first Avengers movie.
No, I'm saying the second Avengers I didn't think was that good. So beating the second Avengers movie.
No, he beat the first Avengers movie.
It did?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's the number one opening.
It's number one all time, yeah.
I actually think I said that, and I forgot it in that 30 seconds.
Of all time means all.
Everything.
I thought it was this summer.
But here's the cool thing. So Kevin Feige put out a picture with the Avengers staring upon Chris Pratt riding a T-Rex, holding the T-Rex is holding Mjolnir. And
that sounds like one of our conversations, doesn't it?
It was. It was like a congratulations to Universal Jurassic Park, which is
that's
awesome.
like when Spielberg did that for, Lucas did it for James Cameron for Titanic, and he had all the Star Wars characters and the Titanic, which we haven't gone back and rewatched 800 times.
Yes. No. I remember when they talked about, like going back to Titanic when he spent $250 million to make it, and people are like, that's ridiculous. Well, it only made $1 billion. So
yeah, right.
I think it was a pretty good return on the investment.
I think it was. I can think of two reasons I like that movie. Moving ahead, did anybody in the audience see Jurassic Park?
Anyone? Not yet?
Nope. You did.
Yeah.
You did. Right
Jeff,
back
awesome.
there. So in other words,
you want me to give you a 5-second review?
In other words, let me just say this. I think it's going to make more money.
Yes.
I don't think it's done from this weekend. Go ahead, Alil. What was the
No,
they
said it's going to break $100 million this weekend. Although Inside Out is going to give it a run for its money. Inside Out beat it for Friday so far.
I believe it. It's a Pixar movie, and it's getting great.
It looks
reviews.
good.
And I also,
It looks really
and I
good.
also saw that already.
Did you see it? Now, this
Saw it
one, when
yeah.
it was coming out, before it came out, it was the one I was hearing, this might be Pixar's, not working. This might be the time they step on a banana peel.
I didn't
then
hear that.
The reviews came out, and it was holy cow. I thought it looked like Herman's head.
Oh yeah, it is. It's very much the animation Herman's head.
You know what? You're right. That is a good.
I just broke the
comparison.
movie.
There you go. But no, okay. Let me go with Jurassic World. Jurassic World. If you love dinosaurs,
Who doesn't?
if you love the first one,
Who doesn't?
you will like this a lot. But this to me is more of a love letter to the first one,
Okay.
and is not as good as the first one.
I'm okay with that.
No, you're right. It is very much, and they pay a lot of homage to the first series of movies in doing that. But it still was, the ending was blanking awesome.
Oh yeah,
It was
fantastic.
Yeah,
It was
and
great.
that's what I heard is the last 20 minutes are amazing. The rest of it is almost
high
the same
octane.
movie.
Yeah, high octane. And the rest of it is. It's very, very beat for beat.
All right.
And then with Inside Out it was actually,
It's Herman's head.
yeah. But as a father,
Yeah.
it kind of hit some places, that I wasn't expecting.
Did you get teary?
Feels?
Yeah, I cried at Toy Story 3, so I don't care.
So do I. The one that really makes me cry is E.T. when he turns into the white dog poo. That always makes me cry. But for the Pixar
You
movies,
just cry because you.
Toy Story 3, killer. Actually, all the Toy Stories get you at some point, but 3,
Yeah.
when they're holding hands in the lava or in the garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it wasn't even that. To me, it was more.
No,
when
it's
Andy,
the kid.
Yeah,
It's the
Andy gave up
kid.
his toys,
I
and
didn't even want you. Why are you strumming my pain, OL?
that was me seeing my kids grow up and not wanting them to grow up yet, even though I want them grown up. I don't know. It's I want them bigger so they can go on rides with me at Disney.
When did this turn into the This Week in Crying?
That's right.
This week in feeling.
Yeah,
This
we're going
Week
to talk
in
about
Feels?
Spider-Man 3 because he had lots of feelings in that
Oh
movie.
man! All right.
This Weekend Feels.
This Week in Feels. No, that will never happen.
But both those movies, Inside Out, check it out. I really did love it.
It's really good, huh?
Cool.
And I love the one guy in it, the comedian that plays Anger in it.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of his name.
I'm
but
drawing a blank on his name. I know that's my 4-year-old daughter's favorite character. She
I
loves
generally
Anger.
don't find a lot. Well, that's because of her dad. DCFS. No, we generally.
Maybe.
I generally don't care for comedians. There's a handful that I think are really funny, but generally, I'm kind of bored by comedians. That guy, Louis Black. Every time I've seen him do stand-up, that guy is funny.
Yeah, it was really good. The voice casting was great. Phyllis, can't remember her last. She was in The Office.
She's in it?
Yeah, she plays Sadness.
Okay.
She was terrific.
I'm sure. I mean, The Office had such a wonderful cast,
Oh.
You missed it. Last week we talked about Silicon Valley, and Gabe is
Yeah,
on that,
Gabe.
and he's fantastic on that.
Awesome.
Wait, this is This
We
Week in Geek.
binge-worthy Silicon Valley.
Yeah, what did
Yeah.
I say?
Listen, I know you said last week, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
that's
last
what we
week on
did.
Binge-worthy we talked about it. It's all bleeding together for me at this point. Okay. I had a good one I wanted to bring up, and I can't remember what it was. Anybody?
Oh, and you want to talk
died?
about Arnold with Terminator coming out? He's doing a lot of promo, and he's doing all the talk shows and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So he went to Madame Tussauds in L.A.
Yes.
and played himself and was scaring people
Yeah,
to
was
raise money.
standing there and then moved.
I
love that.
I like that he's embracing a little bit lighter side of his stardom. He was on Graham Norton's show and he killed it.
Yeah.
He did an eyebrow thing and he was with.
Well, I think he kind of has to. He has to rebuild his persona.
I think he's been doing that now for a while because he had that one where they pulled that prank where he was playing ping pong with some dude, and I forgot what it was about. But he also went into Gold's Gym, his old Gold's Gym, all dressed up, and he was doing the Arnold pump you up kind of stuff, and nobody was like, they're like, is that you? I can't tell.
Is that you?
And they had all these behind the scenes video cameras all over the place.
I have a
funny.
story. I'm going to reveal a story right here.
Here we go.
Are we really going there?
Not that story, but
okay.
yes.
No.
All right.
I never reveal this, but yes. I'll get over that part quickly. I was in the movie Jingle All the Way, and I actually spent a little time with Arnold on the set.
Woo-hoo! I know.
Yeah, I know that. 10 seconds. Woo!
We're going to be reviewing that movie on my show come Christmas.
Yeah. That
So
guy in the
I can
stock-
probably get the other toy store clerk to join me if you want us to guest. Anyway,
Store clerk
Chris
number 3.
had this story. I'm not going to tell my story of Arnold, even though it's funny, but I have a prank story. He is a prankster. So Chris was in there, sitting in the room, getting his makeup done. There were like 6 people there, and everyone's doing their thing. And Arnold walks in. Now, this is the first time he's encountered Arnold, right? And Arnold walks in, and they're like, oh, it's Mr. Schwarzenegger, you know? And he walks in, he's got this huge plate of strawberries, okay? And he's like, would anybody like a strawberry? Would anybody? And they're like, sure. And Chris said he took one like, wow, Arnold Schwarzenegger's handing me this like great, giant strawberry. This is really cool. And he said, they all like bite into him. And he's just saying like, yeah, they're good, eat them. Takes a bite, and the one guy bites and he goes like, oh my God, ah! And he goes, I put garlic in that one. So, like the one-time encounter with Arnold, he puts garlic in a strawberry and like screws with this poor guy.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. He's a prankster. He told me he could kick my ass.
Unlike your
so.
impression of him, but that was
You like that?
That
Thank
was
you.
your best impression to date.
Was it really?
On
I
podcast.
don't know about that. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know about it? I do better?
Or that shows how bad the others are.
Yeah, maybe you're right about that.
I'm like Madame Trousseau's. You can't really tell.
You can't tell.
You can. So there you go. There was my story. I revealed it on This Week in Geek. I never talk about it. So on to things that I'm a little embarrassed by.
Nothing.
Hashtag garlic strawberry.
Wow.
Then we'll know you're listening.
The letters being typed right now, cease and desist.
So here's one that I'm excited about. I'm a film guy, okay? It's great watching them at home and everything, but I love when you can see something in a theater and it's an experience. So I usually seek out theaters that are really good. I mean, lately I haven't been going as much, but it used to be that it was really important to us. Find the best projectionist, find the best screen, all that, best audio. Well, this is big news. Hateful Eight, the new Quentin Tarantino movie, they are going to put it out at Christmas in select theaters in 70 millimeter. I am so down with it. Forget seeing this stuff in 3D or we've got a DLP projection. You know what? Great. 70 millimeter print of Hateful Eight. Man, I don't care if we don't go to movies that often. Martha, we're going to see that. Hateful Eight in 70 millimeter.
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. It's a new Tarantino movie coming out at Christmas. See? There you go. Because we missed the last one. What was the last one?
Django.
We didn't see it in the theater, and it was killing me. And then we saw it on TV, and I was like, this is great, but, I wish I'd seen it in the theater. Just for the one scene. No, I'm kidding. Lil's like, yes, I know the scene. I have the action figure.
Diorama.
Okay. What do you got?
The screensaver, that's what we have. So,
Well, Disney, Lucasfilm is announcing potentially Indy 5 coming out in 2018.
Wait, they said what?
Indiana Jones 5.
They made an announcement. I didn't hear this.
Well, it's not an official announcement, but
It's
people
rumors.
have been rumoring. Harrison Ford has been dropping things. It's
Out of his plane.
too soon.
Here you go. But it looks like there is a potential that
looks like they're doing Indiana
Jones 5 will be coming out in
Shia LaBeouf
2018.
is not in it. It's we're gonna Indiana Jones 5. I'm in a plane.
See, that was good. That was my Harrison Ford. It was kind of lethargic, but I liked
I
it.
think everybody just turned off.
They're all like, what was that?
Everybody did see. Did you see the new teaser for Fear the Walking Dead?
Yes. Did you see the teaser?
Did you see the
Yes.
teaser?
Yes. Why is that guy's pants falling off?
Yeah, well,
Anybody see the teaser for Walking Dead for Fear the Walking Dead? Was it awesome?
It was
but the guy's pants are falling off when he's running. It looked like me, like every day. That was awesome.
Either he was involved in something that we're not going to show. Or,
I'm glad we don't record from your house if that's you every day.
Yeah, that's why we don't Skype from my house.
That was like him, but he doesn't wear pants. So.
Yeah, I'm not wearing pants, but he is wearing pants. I think that he's just, I don't know, but I love that. I thought that was awesome.
The
when he was
fear in
running
his
away.
eyes was unbelievable.
It was.
It was terror.
Now,
They
was
didn't
there
show
a
zombies.
second one that was released, or was that the only teaser?
I don't can't
because
say.
the picture I saw on I think IO9 today had a woman in it, and I'm like, there was no woman in that. teaser.
That was a production still that's
Is
been
that
out
what
with
it
the guy in the suit and the lady, right?
Yeah.
That's been out for a few weeks.
Okay,
that's been
so
around.
that was something
that's
different.
floating around. So
I thought maybe I missed something, and I was like scouring, and I kept finding the guy with the pants.
no,
I'm
yeah.
so into this. Now, when does this come out?
August is that
Because it's
accurate?
got to be before October, because October is the regular Walking Dead. They're not going to
Yeah,
change
no,
that.
it comes out before. It comes out in August. Yeah.
I think it's August.
Man, I can't wait.
It's going to be well. And you know what? And what I really
It's
like,
all good.
Well, you know what I like about it from seeing the other show and that they're going to be tied together is that we're going to get to see the outbreak from the other side, so
Right.
we can look at the clues and say this is going to happen, and then of course
Now,
we're gonna
Robert
mix it up.
Kirkman has said that he is never going to reveal the real source of the outbreak. He thinks that will break the whole mythology.
Sure.
So even though we think, wow, this is the beginning of everything, I think we're just going to see the paranoia. I think we're going to see speculation, but we're not going to get an answer, which I think is an awesome way to go.
Well, yeah, and just the setting, it being in the West Coast in LA where everything is more congested, it's
Yeah.
going to be just a zombie fest. It's going to be
it's gonna be
fantastic.
awesome.
Because there is no room. So where
I
people
really
gonna
hope
go?
Bill Murray makes a cameo.
That was
Jesse
great. I love
Eisenberg will be great.
He comes in as Lex Luthor, as a zombie,
And Bill Murray bites him in the head.
Zombie Luther. It'd
That'd be
great.
awesome. Okay, I got one before you jump in a little. I can see you got one to say, but I just saw David Tennant on the screen. I am super excited about this.
Yeah.
David Tennant, it looks like is going to be in Chew. I love the comic book Chew. I think it's an amazing piece of work. I can't believe that it hasn't been made into something already. Now, is this, I didn't even read it. I got so excited. Is this a movie or is this,
animated.
Animation.
oh, it's animated.
He's a voice.
No.
Yeah.
I want John Goodman and David Tennant and Stephen Yeun to be in it.
And Felicia Day is going to be one of them.
She's going to be a voice.
She'll be a voice.
I mean,
yeah, she's
I'll
good.
take it being animated, but that was one I can picture him in Chew. And the one guy is John Goodman. Is John Goodman a voice in it?
I don't. You know what? I don't know. I don't think they announced the rest of the cast.
All
like I
right.
heard.
Well,
Those were the only three that I saw.
you failed
so-
this city and you failed this podcast.
Those are-
Sorry, I've never read Chew, so I didn't get excited.
Chew is amazing. Okay, do you know what Chew is? Do you guys know what Chew is? Does anybody know what Chew is? Does anybody else read it, or am I the only one? Okay, Chew is about a detective who's got a very special ability. So, you know how, like, Monk can, like, do this, and he kind of reads the room with his OCD. Chew, the guy, I mean, that's just, it's not his name. I'm just calling him that. We'll call him John. John, maybe his name is John Chew.
His last name is like Chew, but CHU.
Okay.
Seriously. No, it is.
Chewbacca. He's in it. That'd be awesome.
Peter
No,
Mayhew's going to.
His ability is
That would be awesome.
he's we'll call him a taste sensitive. So he puts things in his mouth and he gets like this psychic thing about that food. So like he's in a restaurant, he can't eat anything except something weird like lima beans. That's like all he can eat. So if he goes into a restaurant, he eats a piece of steak, he all of a sudden has this flash. The guy who prepared it had like killed somebody, and he knows the whole thing because that guy touched the food that he's ingesting. It's crazy. And when you first read it, the first book is very much that. And you're like, okay, well, I get the joke. I get what it's going to be. And then it becomes this insane, like, Twin Peaksy. It's Shaun of the Dead meets Twin Peaks
nice.
cop show. It's awesome.
Do they all go to the Winchester?
Yes.
Yeah, then I'm in. So.
You know, somebody made a Lego set. You know how they do those Lego sets? They did a Lego set of the Winchester, and it had the little gun above the bar. How awesome is that? Why didn't that come out, Chris?
I don't know. I'll have to talk to my source at
Talk to
Lego.
your Lego guy.
I do have a Lego
Hello,
source.
you know people. Hello, hurry up.
So, Alil, you were going to say something I rudely interrupted.
No, Marvel is looking for a director for Thor 3. And it looks like they really, really want to bring back Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh's great.
But Kenneth Branagh just signed on to direct Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh, interesting.
But
Have you ever seen his film noir that he did? He did the one, what's the one where it had the image of the scissors throughout it? Does anyone know what this was? There's an early, somebody has to look it up. I'm not that skilled, multitasking with the pad.
We know.
It's an early Kenneth Branagh and what's her name? His wife.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson, or he was married to. I don't keep up with people. All right, Chris? It was Kenneth Branagh and
Don't you
Emma
watch Harry
Thompson.
Potter?
He directed it, and it was this awesome film noir. I can imagine him doing Murder on the Orient Express being really good. The only problem is we know the ending. That's the problem.
That is true. But going back to him getting back with Marvel,
Yeah, sorry,
a lot,
I got us off track.
a lot of this was predicated on Thor: The Dark World coming out in the summer, but because of the
No, Ragnarok.
Well, I'm sorry, Ragnarok. Yes, Thor: Ragnarok coming. It was supposed to come out in July of 2017, but now that date has moved because of Spider-Man.
Yes.
So now the rumors are that he's going to jump in and do that right after he finishes Murder on the Orient.
That'd be
I
nice.
thought he did a great job with the first Thor. I didn't care for elements of it. We've talked about this before. But overall, I thought he did a fantastic job with it. I think with a stronger script, I think if they put the effort into this that they put into Cap 2 and Cap 3, I think we're going to finally have that Thor movie we've all been really wanting. And I like the Thor movies. I know you guys don't, right? You didn't like Thor 2, right?
I did.
I did.
Oh, who doesn't like it? I blame him. Yeah, I loved it.
I blame your father.
We'll blame
Yeah, I
Jim.
know. He's sitting there eating.
Dad, how did you do that? So
No, that's okay, Dad. No one else is.
the bad part, the only bad part I think about Thor is that they had so many great actors and people. When
And Jane Foster.
and it just kind of went. It was, but it was still good. I think they did a good job of capturing Thor.
I thought Thor 2 was good. The problem with both Thor movies is the villain. Loki is awesome, but those destroyers I thought were kind of.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I thought.
We have a whole-
and the Dark Elf was a great idea, but
Well, I
there's
think the
no
problem,
personality there.
The problem with the first Thor was they didn't know yet what to do with Loki.
Right.
Because Loki wasn't
yeah, if they
really
made that movie now
villainous.
with Loki.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Bam.
Yeah, he wasn't really like a villain, and then the second one was just a paper villain. It was the Dark Elves. We just want to make everything dark.
Yeah, I think
yes,
they
it
could
was
have done a
cool, it
much
was
better
fun.
job with that.
You like the scenes with Loki in them. That's why they went back and reshot a bunch more scenes with Loki in it.
Good choice.
But you're right. I mean, they're paper villains, and then Joss Whedon fixed Loki for Avengers.
Right.
And then now we have the Loki that we want.
Right.
But
Right.
so hopefully with Ragnarok.
But is it the
having
Loki you
in there-
deserve? That's my question.
It's always the Loki I deserve. Quoting
And he does have
Batman.
that awesome helmet, which is awesome.
Oh yeah. That's
It's awesome that they
Reindeer
pulled that
games.
off. I can't believe they actually got the costume, and it's like, it's right.
Yeah.
I mean, because when we heard Loki was in it, you're like, there's no way. And then the first time he walks in with those big horns, you're like,
yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah, we
they got it
got this.
right.
well.
He should be in Chew.
The hard part about Thor is it's that mythological figure, and it doesn't translate well into the sci-fi, like the whole Avengers kind of
Right.
science fiction, Iron Man kind of that whole genre. And so, how do you fit that? The guy who's a Norse god whose big claim to fame was he had a thunder that nobody could lift and
Right.
would pretty much blow everybody away.
Yeah, right.
Where
It's
do you
a
go with
problem.
that story?
It's problematic.
Even though he's a great character and he fits in and he needs to be there, it doesn't. It's not as
Well, now we
sexy
know
as the other
when
stuff.
he's not fighting bad guys in Avengers, he's a secretary for the female Ghostbusters. So
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Or he's driving a race car, so that's bad. Kind of
a race car.
Well, you were talking about some of the other stuff. You brought up Jesse Eisenberg earlier, where you see the article about how he's going to make Lex Luthor like a real villain, not in that
Silly.
not well,
Not
they
an
said
over-the-top silly
They're not
character.
gonna, he's not going to be this silly pompous guy. He's going to be like the really
Well, I think he
deranged
needs
kind
to.
of thing, so.
He needs to step away from the Gene Hackman
Sure.
role. And we just watched Superman, the first Superman again recently. Gene Hackman is amazing in
Oh, yeah.
that role. He is not Lex Luthor from the comics, but although you're making a face, I loved him in that.
Hackman was fine in it. It was just,
The Otis
the whole
music
movie.
is-
Yeah, exactly. Like
Otis
Otis is
Otisburg.
It's like,
Oh, Will doesn't like it because
The
that's
best
the
line of the whole
soundtrack when
movie.
he walks in the room. We always play.
although Otis had redemption in the Captain America 1990 movie, so
Miss Tessmacher. Hey, it just it was a tough time to be making movies, especially with the limited kind of special effects you had in the early 80s.
Those
and
special
70s.
effects were not very
No,
special.
they weren't very special, and they did what they could, and so they relied on Gene Hackman. And I have no problem with those Superman movies, but they're definitely there's more that they can do now with it. So,
Oh, I have a problem with him.
well, I'm sorry.
The first two, I enjoyed.
The first one wasn't bad, and then when he got to
The
Richard
second one,
Pryor, it was awful.
The Donner
But-
cut is actually really good. If you watch the original cut, it's long. If you watch that Donner cut, it's really good, I think. But yeah, after that, the Richard Pryor one,
Yeah.
and
That's
the Nuclear
awful.
Man,
That's atrocious.
my
Nuclear
gosh.
Man. We just watched that, me and the kids. I was laughing the whole time.
Oh, it's so bad.
Nuclear Man was terrible.
It's almost so bad that it's
He
good,
looked
but
like-
it's really
He
not.
looked like Richard Simmons. He had the hair and everything. I'm like,
Is that why my mom was always working out when that movie was on TV?
it's like I thought this was Sweating to the Oldies 3.
Yes, Sweating to the oldies.
Hello.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, what were we talking about? Did we answer?
Sweating to the Oldies.
Yeah, we did. We talked about Jesse Eisenberg. I think it's going to be interesting because
I think it's interesting,
his
too.
He's a very intense person. I mean, look at what he did in was that Social Network?
Yes.
And he was fantastic, and I think he can add that element where he's got a real edgy Lex Luthor without losing that villain.
I am so. I say it every time, but I'm so on the fence about this. I know Alil has a vested interest. He doesn't want the DC stuff to succeed because he's all Marvel. I mean, obviously, I love Marvel stuff. I want it to work. I want to have awesome on both sides. I want both, so that when we do a Geektastic Cage match about it, it's a real fight. Right now, it's like picking on a doofus.
True.
You know, it's not good. And these Suicide Squad things, I'm like, some of it looks cool, but I don't think so. And this Batman versus Superman, nothing has gotten me. And you would think, Batman, light up eyes, big suit. I'm like, it's not doing it.
There's some talk now that the Batman versus Superman isn't going to be the fight between them. It's going to be the
No, because
what
they
people want-
changed the name to that because they didn't know what to do.
Well, yeah, but it's going to be the fight of who's going to be the hero for America or the world.
Yeah, it's going to the fight is going to happen midway through the movie, and then they're going to team up, and it's going to be a Marvel team up. Why didn't they call this World's Finest and put the two together?
Right.
And
Wonder Woman's in it anyway, so it would
let
make
them fight
sense.
and then get into that. That would have made sense. That would lead directly into a Justice League film. Instead, this is like, hey, Justice League Light.
Well, they're already putting it in because they have Aquaman and Wonder Woman. They're already.
You think
in the
Will
promo.
Smith's going to show up in this? You think they're going to start using him in everything? And I swear, if I
He'll
see
be Packer
Static
Vance as
Shock
part of
show
the-
up as like a cameo, I'm going to lose it.
Could he be one of the Wonder Twins?
You know what? I'd be interested if they did the Wonder Twins with Bleep and Shayna and Shauna or whatever their names are. Remember?
That's terrible.
No, those are the conjoined twins, right?
Sorry, yes.
No, conjoined twins.
Yeah, right. Jaina and Jana. Yeah.
Oh my.
Sam and Jaina.
Sand with an N.
Somebody and somebody else.
Somebody.
I don't
Nobody
know.
cares about.
Somebody hurt me.
I don't know. What are tell me the name of the conjoined twins. Huh? See, she's not so smart. 8-year-old. Take that. She's not even listening to me.
Ignore
that.
Nobody cares.
I guess.
Oh man.
I got my own
it's
Twitter.
tweeting
I
right
Southgate. I'm an idiot.
How much has he been booed on Twitter?
Why
That's
am
all
I
wanna
so
know.
mean to the conjoined twins?
Hashtag Boo Father's Day. Hashtag.
Ruined it for life. M. Night Shyamalan has a new movie called The Visit. That is.
Yes.
Wait,
that
what's this? The Visit?
He's doing it with the guy who did.
You caught me off guard.
Wait,
I
is
had
this
to
coming-
stop.
He's
is this
doing
coming out now?
It's soon. He does the
Soon.
low budget horror movies. What's the? Not
Kevin
the Blair
Smith?
Witch. Yeah, Kevin Smith.
Tusk.
What's the one where the devil's in the? I can't think of the names. I'm sorry, but it's one of the guys that's doing
Devils in the Hot Tub? That
Devils
sounds
in
like
the
an
Hot
awesome
Tub.
movie.
Right? No, but
Let's kickstart that.
It's supposed to be.
yeah.
It's supposed to be M. Night getting back to his original like Sixth Sense, Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Kind of directing where he's.
But those weren't low budget movies, though.
He's got to get
Yeah,
back
no.
to something.
Exactly, but
Although I got to say, we've been watching Wayward Pines, which he's producing.
Yes.
right, it's good.
Outstanding.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really good. And it kind of sucks that we're not binge watching it because we watched 4 episodes like bam, bam, bam.
You
and then we
can't
got to
watch
wait.
it before it's done.
That sucks. That sucks. Everyone needs to do Netflix shows. I need it now. Just boom, one after the other, one after the
Put
other.
it out. That's good.
What kind of website is this?
Hey, you clicked the wrong filter there. I just want to let you know.
So who is it? Do you guys have it yet?
I don't have it.
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank and I don't have it written in front of me. But there was a.
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi.
No.
It was the it was one of those.
Oh my God! You just about put me down there.
It was the low budget film where it was a guy and a
awesome.
girl that were in the house, and she was haunted by a devil that was in the attic.
Okay.
And
Didn't he
I
make
could-
one about an elevator with a devil? Wasn't that
Yeah,
his?
That was M. Night.
called-
He did. It
Yeah.
was called Devil.
Devil.
Yeah.
Devil.
I heard that
M.
was
Night.
good.
It was pretty good.
I didn't see that
It was
one
kind
yet.
of predictable, but it was a good movie.
I'm
So-
gonna watch that one. I'm watching Bonaduke right now. Danny Bonaduke. You know,
Babadook?
Babadook. That's what I'm watching. Danny
How are you watching
Babadook.
it right now? That movie's short. Like, why
I'm
is
very
that
bored by
done?
this conversation. I'm watching it
That's
right
good.
now.
Nice.
No, you know what? I'm watching
the
like
Babadook right now.
Right
I'm watching
now.
like 20
Right now,
minutes
right now?
every night before I go to bed. And I'm like, I'm too tired. But you know what? It's pretty cool movie. It's weird. Did you guys see it?
I have seen the Babadook.
Best part? Babadook. I love that when she picks up the phone. Babadook. It's awesome. And it is pretty weird. That kid. What's up with that kid? He looks like a little miniature Mick Jagger.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, watch it again and you'll be like, oh my God, it's Mick Jagger. It's Mick Jagger's mini-me. Yeah, just as
I don't
evil
think I
and
want-
1/8 his size.
That,
It's just-
does he dance and start me up and all that stuff? That's good.
No, he just
Oh,
stands there and
man.
goes, Mom, the Babadook's getting you, Mom. Yep. That's my impression. That's the worst impression I've ever done.
That's pretty
That's
much
pretty
the
bad.
worst.
All right, I've got
I
bad
think
news.
you've already killed the show.
I've got
Dun,
bad
dun.
news. Looks like Michael Bay may be directing Transformers 5 after all.
I think that's what Mark Wahlberg said, right?
You know what?
And
Yes,
you believe
and
everything Mark Wahlberg says.
I do. So
He
say it
was
the
Marky
Wahlberg.
Mark on the Funky Bunch.
So
Is it
say it
good?
the Funky Bunch.
So saith.
Yep. Yeah, I mean those were his apostles, right? The Funky Bunch.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
If you watch the Entourage movie, they're in the background.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not watching that movie. I heard it was horrible.
I didn't watch it, but I just saw.
I heard it was horrible.
I stopped watching the show after
Hey,
he did
you can tell them
Aquaman.
they can come in. George R. R. Martin's walking in right now
Sure.
because they think we're doing a performance.
It could
Tell
be.
them, yeah, we're good. We're good. Come on in, man.
Please. Come on in.
Hey, man, we do live podcasts. We're just doing that up here. So yes,
come on in. There we
Well,
go.
We got saluted. Nice.
Oh, and hey. That's right.
Yeah. Hey, normally they do that with one finger.
I
So
was about
thank
to
you.
say,
Thank you
how
for
are you?
using them all.
Sometimes with two, but from
Yeah,
separate
right.
hands. So
That's if Rick Mayall's here.
exactly. So I saw.
Oh, he's dead. Why did we bring that up?
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah. That's a shame.
What were you going to say? Hello?
No,
I don't know. You've just totally lost my.
Chris, you were going to say something.
I was. So the pictures with words, are they called memes or meme? How do
Yeah,
you-
memes.
Memes. So I saw one today on Facebook that I don't know
What
what,
do the kids call those
One of those
pictures with
youngsters
words?
calling
I
the
called it something
interwebs.
and my wife ridiculed me.
We
and
call
it was-
them the talkies.
I'm scarred. No, I didn't call them memes. I called them something.
I
So
call
there
them
was-
memes.
There was one with the entire cast of classic Star Trek all wearing red shirts. And it goes, if George R.R. Martin wrote Star Trek.
Yes.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then somebody asked me, what does that mean? And I went,
Who asked you that? A lil.
a little?
I
No,
did.
It
Well,
was
probably.
It was one of the children that worked for me.
Oh, yeah.
One of the children.
Do
they
they know
are.
who the Beatles are?
They do know who the Beatles are.
You guys know who the Beatles are?
I
You
forced
that
them to
work here?
listen.
You know who the Beatles are?
Their ears start bleeding.
They're just staring at me.
No more Beatles.
This week we heard somebody told us that they were very offended because was it their daughter said they don't like the Beatles because they're a boy band. Yep.
Well,
That's
they are a boy band.
with a band of boys, which
Back in the day, they were
they
considered
weren't a boy band. They
Oh,
weren't a
yeah.
boy band.
They were. They were
weren't like
OG boy band.
They did not
One
dance.
Direction or something like that. They were actually musicians.
If the
They just-
Beatles were here today, they would be a boy band.
oh,
They would be, but
they wouldn't be
That's
using
today.
auto-tune.
They would
That's
be
for
like
sure.
Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Beat
And they
Street
would be,
Martha
would be
they would
dancing.
colla-
It'd be great.
They would be collaborating with Justin Timberlake.
Oh no! Let's
Wait.
not even joke about things like that.
Why Paul McCartney collaborated with Michael
Well,
Jackson?
Paul McCartney might, but he's Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
Paul
hold on,
McCartney's like,
hold on.
"Ooh, I love to do it with
Hold on.
everybody."
But at the time, Paul McCartney was the ex-Beatle Paul McCartney, and Michael Jackson had the #1 selling album ever.
and then he owned the whole Beatles
And he
catalog.
owned the
And he
catalog.
bought it out from under him right
Mr.
after that.
Jackson, can I sing in a song with you, please?
Oh, terrible.
You're worth $1 billion, and you're begging Michael Jackson. That's good.
Maleficent 2 looks like it's going to happen.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
They have not signed Angelina Jolie yet, but I'm sure they will, and I'm sure they'll back up the truck with the money.
I don't want to see a sequel to it.
I don't either. I loved the first one. I thought it was cool.
I thought I enjoyed it a lot. There's no need for a sequel.
No, there isn't. It was really a good movie. But at the same time, the way they left it, maybe they could expand on it. I just hope it's not a cash grab. I hope we don't see this thing go, nope. If Angelina Jolie does not come back, you know it's a cash grab.
Oh, yeah.
If she comes back, she has no reason to come back unless, this is a tight script. That's what I think.
Have you guys seen the trailer to Pan?
No.
So what? I'm sorry?
Pan?
Is that the one with
Peter
Christopher Walken?
No, not Christopher Walken. Hugh Jackman plays Blackbeard.
is in it, yes.
Yeah. It's actually...
Snick.
It actually looks really good.
That's where he claws Peter Pan. Is he Hook? Oh, does he have a hook?
He's not Hook.
That would be the best
The kid
Peter
from-
Pan movie ever.
He's
If the
smoking a
hook
cigar.
retracted out of his
Yes.
hand.
He plays Blackbeard. It's like the beginning of Peter Pan.
Okay.
And he plays Blackbeard, who at the time is like the pirate captain, the pirate ruler.
Yes.
And actually, James Hook is in it, and he's played by the kid from Tron 2. I can't remember his name now.
It's a kid?
No, he's an adult. He's the guy who played the son in Tron 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I can't remember his name
Yeah.
now, but he plays.
Asa
plays
Butterfield.
Hook, but he's not a pirate yet.
Yeah.
So they're going on this adventure to stop Blackbeard, and then you're seeing kind of like the origins of both
Spoiler.
Peter Pan and it's in the trailer.
Does
so,
Peter die in it?
Yes.
Yes. I really want to see
And
the hook
Julia
retract
Roberts
out of his
back
hand.
as Tinkerbell.
No, God, no. How dare you? No, but I bet they
did you just
Tyrese
say?
Witherspoon.
Julia
into it.
Roberts is back as Tinkerbell.
That would. Can you imagine how horrible that would be? Oh,
No, but it
Yeah.
actually looked really good, and all three of my kids and my wife turned to me at the theater and said, "We're going to see that." I'm like, "Okay."
did you see Pan?
Can you drop
Yeah.
them off and go see something else?
No, I want to see it.
I want to see it. I always like the Peter Pan stuff. I just don't like Julia Roberts, but I do like the Peter Pan stuff, and I would like to see this.
What do you want to see? Sandy Duncan come back?
That's
know what?
amazing. I do.
I would.
I saw that live.
She had only one eye, right?
Live?
Did you have a fake
Yes, she did.
Yep.
She did.
We were afraid that
That her eye might pop out. Martha.
eye? And she's
No,
flying
she's
across
not
stage.
the one. She's not the one.
She's like
Kathy Rigby.
like an evil Dead 2.
That wasn't her eye that was going to pop out, but Kathy Rigby played Peter Pan.
And Sandy Duncan was the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
Kathy Rigby was Peter Pad. Thank
Peter-
you.
Oh, God.
I'm not adding to that.
No,
That was.
Because this is supposed to be a PG rated show.
it is. I have a
PG.
speech impediment. Why are you making fun of me?
Absolutely. You do, absolutely. So, some new Star Wars production picks and some cast or characters coming back. Admiral Akbar and we're done. Thanks.
No, we're not done. Keep going.
And who was Lando's co-pilot in the Millennium Falcon?
Ian Nubb.
They're back. They're coming back.
That's my impression.
And then they had a picture with Rey, who is Han Solo's daughter.
What
Han
did you do,
Solo
Rey?
And Finn in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
Is it Dan Aykroyd playing Ray?
Yes, it is.
That'd be awesome.
That would be
What
great.
did you do, Ray?
What did you do, Ray?
Actually, it would be
It's so
What did you
terrible,
do,
man.
Ray?
that's Harrison Ford saying it.
The two people that were watching have now shut their computers off.
Exactly.
Well, good thing
Corny
because
jokes.
And they're
they're
really
not
people.
watching it on their
And
computer.
And the three people there watching it have to.
That's right.
Blood
That
related.
You're either related or married. So
first time I paid attention.
Yeah. Hey, Martha heard the whole show. We're going to get in the car. I'm going to hear that was terrible. You're the worst. Stop trying
That
to be
was.
funny because you're not. I had another good one. Oh, this is huge. I don't know if it's going to be huge to you, but just like I talked about Chew, did you guys hear that Starz is doing American Gods as a series? That's a Neil Gaiman book. This is going to be fantastic. They are going to do it right. I cannot wait for this. Do you guys know what American Gods is?
I've heard of it. I've
You
never
know
read
who
it.
Neil
haven't seen
Gaiman
it.
is?
Yes, of
Yes.
course.
That should be enough to tell you it's going to be awesome. If you haven't read like Sandman or
Yeah.
American Gods, you're really missing out on incredible work. And the fact they're making this into a show, I've been waiting for somebody to pick this one up. It's kind of like Dark Tower where you're like, how come nobody has made the Dark Tower yet? It's been all these legal things, but I've never heard anyone talk about American Gods. Here it is. That and Preacher, and thank God that's getting made.
that'll be good. So
I can't
And
wait
Ash
for
versus
Preacher.
Evil Dead.
It's got ass
Yeah.
face in it. That's the guy's name. It is.
I know.
Those little
But I'm
pictures.
saying Ash versus Evil Dead is what I'm looking forward to.
The
Yo, me
teasers they're putting
too.
out for that are
Ass-Face
unbelievable,
versus
so-
Ash versus Evil Dead is going to be even better. Yeah, man. I'm all about Ash versus Evil Dead. That looks
Yeah,
great.
It looks fantastic.
I'll even watch that Scream show, and that looks terrible, but I'm still going to watch it. The one on MTV.
Yeah, when does
Yeah.
it come out with a terrible mask? That mask is like...
I don't care.
It hurt.
But it's going to be this. You want it to look like the same thing? I don't. I want it to be something different, and it is.
I know, but
You're just not in touch with the kids a little like I am.
I guess I'm not. Yeah, I know. I've gotten old.
What
I
did you say about
just turned 36, and I'm over the hill.
Yep. Look at that. He's got to throw his birthday out there. Just turned 36. Where are the birthday presents? You got birthday presents, I heard.
I did. I got a lot.
He got listeners sent him birthday presents.
Really?
I did. I got
Nice.
gifts from fans. Fans.
Yeah, fans.
Two.
Yeah, it's
Two is plural.
he got a Punisher bobblehead, which is
Really?
I
awesome.
did, and I got the Guardians of the Galaxy collector's edition awesome mixtape.
Oh, nice.
Really? Yeah.
Cool.
That's really cool.
So I put that on I have a whole Guardians shelf from the movie because I love that movie so much. So
I take another approach. I don't pimp out when my birthday is, so bam. I did get cookies. That wasn't for my birthday. Was that for my birthday? No. All right. You don't know when my
birthday's
birthday
coming
is,
up,
so.
right?
It's soon.
Let's
Did you
see.
see the picture that Sean Pertwee put
Next
out on
week,
Instagram?
60.
That was how much he looks like his dad.
That was great. And didn't it make you want them to do a story with him?
Oh yeah, absolutely. To put him in there because do you know who Sean Pertwee from Gotham?
He plays
Yeah,
Alfred
I
on
know.
Gotham.
He is John Pertwee, who was the third Doctor's son, and he put a picture with long hair, looks exactly like his dad. I mean,
Oh, wow.
crazy like his dad. It was kind of bone chilling to see him, because in the same kind of feathered hair and that 70s style hair it was really good.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. So
I wish I had feathered hair. I wish
You
I
wish you had
enough
hair.
hair to
I
feather.
was like, I wish I had hair.
how old is the Ewan McGregor? I know we've talked about it, but it seems like the talks are.
We've talked about how old Ewan McGregor is?
No, how he's about it.
I don't remember that.
He's in talks to do. They're thinking he wants to do Obi-Wan trilogy, and that
Oh
it's
my
serious.
gosh. Please make that happen.
That would be great, and it was supposed to be in between 3 and 4.
If
So
you-
They actually
Clone Wars
they
times.
have a book series
of Obi-Wan,
Yes.
yeah.
of Obi-Wan, which
But
I
him-
heard was very good.
I think he's great no matter what. And him being Obi-Wan in a series, a trilogy, that sounds great because there is a huge story we have not seen.
Well, yeah. No, the whole thing between 3 and 4 to wipe off the first 3 movies kind of stink. And to get it good, because that's where
Wiping off the
well, that's
stink.
where Rogue is going to be, right? Or Rebel? What's it called? Rogue. Sorry,
Rogue
that's-
Squadron.
Rogue Squadron's going to be there.
Yeah, Rogue One's game.
The Clone Wars stuff is there, and that would I would love to know what he did in between.
Yeah.
I really would.
Oh, I
because
would too. And-
as important
and
as to
It's
Star
a
Wars.
whole,
And
it's a
let
whole
you-
movie, him just sitting in his hut, just chilling.
Yep, lighting the
Laying
saber,
down.
turning it off, lighting the saber, turning it off.
He's got a big cigar.
Matthew McConaughey shows up, plays some bongos.
He's there with shirtless.
Yeah, of course. This sounds like a good
They
movie.
merged the movie Sahara and Tatooine at the same time.
Warren Beatty shows up. It's great. And Dustin Hoffman. It'll
Just
be
everybody just appears out of nowhere.
Julia Roberts
Ghost
is
of
outside of the
Alice
door
Peters.
just knocking, and they won't let her in.
Julia
Best
Roberts,
movie ever. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
it'll be
Well, that's
great.
all good news. Do
I
we
think
have
so.
anything else? I can't. You know what? I didn't even look. Oh, Rob Zombie is helming a Groucho Marx biopic. Doesn't this seem weird? It's called Raised Eyebrows. I've never heard of this. At the end of Groucho Marx's life, he had an assistant that was live-in that was helping him with all of his stuff, and he had all sorts of weird, like legal troubles and all these things going on. His life got really funky at the end, and this guy wrote a book, and I guess that the book is really positive about Groucho. It's just kind of like a mirror to this weirdness that was going on. And Rob Zombie, it turns out, is a huge Groucho Marx fan. He said, I was reading an article with him. He's like, I've read multiple books. I've watched the interviews. He said, this has been a dream of mine to make a movie about Groucho Marx. This is the guy that made 2 Halloween movies. He made Devil's Rejects. Like, his stuff is violent and weird, and
Did he
he's
do a
Rob
Texas
Zombie.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Did he do a
Yeah.
Chainsaw Massacre too?
No,
No?
No.
But he's making, and you know what? If he's that big a fan, he might be able to throw enough love in this thing that it would be different and cool. I'm down with it. I love Groucho. So.
He's a talented guy, so if he could put his talents to that, I think it would be good. If he's passionate about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's made some stinkers.
It is curious. I'm interested to see what he does.
I am
because
too.
I think when Rob Zombie's at his best, he is House of a Thousand Corpses Rob Zombie, or the first part of the Halloween remake Rob Zombie. I think
now
he
did you hear
loses
that?
himself. What?
They are doing a third one.
Yeah, he's coming back, but
it's not Rob Zombie.
No, and they don't know if it's a third one. They haven't announced yet if it's a third one or if it's a continuation from the original.
No, it better be the third one, because where do you continue it from the original?
But you know what they would do is they wouldn't have giant Michael Myers. They would just start it, and it would just be a story of Michael Myers.
Okay.
You know, like instead of having 6'11"
So in other words, it's a
Tyler
soft
Mane,
reboot.
with this crazy mask,
Yeah.
kind of like a reboot, reimagine.
Please don't show the origin story again.
I don't think
that's
they're
what
going
I'm
there.
hoping
I don't think
for.
they're going there.
I liked Rob Zombie's take on the origin story. I thought that was pretty cool.
I did and I didn't.
I didn't
Because
like the
I think
movie.
my problem with that is Rob Zombie goes, he has to give it. See, what I loved about the original Halloween was when you see after that long
I would
shot.
say everything, because that was just an
No,
amazing film.
it was a great film. But after that long shot, you just see a regular boy there with his two parents. They take the mask off, and it's just a regular boy.
Right.
In Rob Zombie's Halloween, they had to give him a reason. He had to come from a broken home. He had
there was a lot of
It was
stuff.
all this. It's like here's the reason why he became.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And I didn't want that.
I just liked the scenes they showed of him with the therapist. I liked him with the
I
mask.
did like
thought that was all
Loomis,
cool.
that Loomis and Michael kind of
But you're right. It didn't need all that, because in the original, it was just so unsettling that this kid,
out of nowhere. Yeah.
out of nowhere, just puts on the mask and starts killing. And then when they show him, you didn't know the first time. You didn't know it was a kid.
Yeah, and that's
It's like, what the
That's the problem
heck?
with all the remakes that they've made. They're trying to give the villains reason to be villains.
Yeah, I'd
and I
rather
think
start-
it ruins it.
I'd rather start later in the story.
I agree.
And you could almost forget the earlier stuff, like Friday the 13th. Don't show the origin. Don't do it as a reboot. Start it day one. These guys show up at camp. Jason shows up.
I believe that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And don't rehash any of the other ideas. Give us something fresh. That would be awesome.
It's hard. It's hard to not rehash something after 13 movies.
Right.
I don't
Do
know,
something.
man. I don't know. I think they could.
I think you'll see a similarity somewhere because
The
there's
similarity is okay, but not the same thing rehashed. When
agree.
they did that reboot of Friday the 13th, they did the same thing where they showed a lot of scenes that we've seen before, kind of updated.
Yep.
So you kind of knew, oh, they're in the lake. Guess what's going to happen? You know? I don't know.
Well, there's only so many ways you can die in the horror movie now. I mean, they've kind of covered all that stuff. So that element that was in the originals was the shocking thing is no longer shocking to us. So they have to, I think they have to come up with different ways
Yeah,
to scare
especially
you.
after movies like Hostel and
Right.
Saw.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean,
But see that right there. Let Eli Roth direct a Friday the 13th. See what he does with it. That would be interesting. That could be really different. I don't know. I'm throwing it out there.
Maybe.
Somebody pay me for that idea. Nobody.
No, I
Dead
don't.
silence.
I got some
I gotta
change.
know.
I don't disagree with
Okay.
you. I mean, the
I'm
problem,
gonna get you back.
But no, the problem with those, and like I guess, if Friday the 13th and Halloween hadn't been made, Hostel and Saw and those other movies would never have come about because
True.
they're not there. So it's hard to go back and it's like the Superman thing we talked about earlier. The 70s or 80s or Superman was great for the time because of the restrictions of the
Right.
of the material. Now you have to go way beyond that. It's the same with horror movies. It's the same with science fiction. Think about how we were amazed at Lost in Space from the 60s or Star Trek from the 60s, and now you can make that on your phone.
It's true. I mean, it's everything. I mean, the very beginning of the show talking about Jurassic Park. I mean, it's just that's the problem with all this stuff. I saw Poltergeist. Poltergeist was just awful.
Right.
And
Yeah, well, I think the problem is, I think the era of the remake is missing the point.
right.
I think all these remakes need to be reimaginings. Reimagine the story or take the universe and set it somewhere else really different. Sure. And I think, like Poltergeist, that's ripe.
Like Leprechaun in space. Yeah.
That's awesome. Or in the hood.
Aliens versus Predator.
Why not?
Yeah,
Why
Versus Leprechaun.
Why is it Poltergeist in the hood?
versus
You see
Friday the
Warwick Davis run out.
Remember that one in Vegas when they just like opened the car door and shoved him out and he's like running around like, and they just filmed him because they did it guerrilla style.
Gorilla style. That's
Yeah.
right.
I don't even know if he knew he was in the makeup. He just kind of like wandered around Vegas like, oh, where's me gold? Get back in the car.
He's like, what am I doing? Am I doing Willow?
He was
Or-
doing an appearance one night and just got drunk and they filmed himself.
Where's George Lucas? Where's me gold?
This isn't an Ewok suit. What are you doing? So,
Imagine those shoes he had to walk around in. That's the worst, man.
are they bringing him back? Is he going to be in Star
don't-
Wars somehow?
Oh, I don't know.
From right now, no.
Is Ken Baker coming back? Kenny Baker?
Yeah.
He was
Yes,
R2.
he's coming back. Yes.
So he's going to be R2. Imagine that poor guy.
They're doing it practicals. They're doing
He's like,
Right.
he's like 90 now. Like, yeah, get back in the trash can. Couldn't you just
We'll give you a few $1 million.
say I
Okay.
was in this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get in a trash can for $100K. You don't have to give me a cool million.
All right, we're doing a Kickstarter. A Lil in a trash can.
I will live in it for a month.
Hashtag a Lil in a trash can. I bet between us and League of Geeks we could raise $100.
A2K.
Oh, you said
Hey, $100.
$100K.
It's $100K.
I'll get a candy bar. I'll go get one right now.
I'll give you.
a
He'll give you
candy
$100
bar.
right now, and I'll put a K on it.
We'll get him a $100,000 bar. It's $100K.
$100,000 bar. Wait, this is a Lil. He might take it.
That's right.
He's thinking. I
Wait,
see the
we're-
wheels turning.
We're
Really? Is it-
checking. So
Is it a king size? Okay, we're almost done. I did have something more. Oh, Vin Diesel, it looks like, is going to play Kojak. I like Kojak. I like the original series. When they redid it with, what's his name? They redid it as a TV show a few years ago, and it looked like it was going to be good, and then it just kind of wasn't. It was the guy who played, oh, come on, man.
I can picture him too. I can't think of it.
Yeah, it's the guy who played Kingpin in Daredevil.
Oh,
Edward James Olmos.
D'Onofrio.
No.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
No, the other one.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Edward James almost.
I think, but no, who's the other?
Wait,
who's
wrong
the
color.
other giant black guy that everyone confuses?
Not Edward James almost.
Right. Michael Clark Duncan, and who's the other guy?
The one who was in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, that guy.
Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames. He played Kojak, and I thought it was going to be awesome, and it just was not. It was just kind of like, okay, it's Cop Show number 39, but Vin Diesel, if they're going to launch it as a movie, could be interesting.
Who loves you, baby? That would be-
Yeah, man. I could be down with that. Although, is it like, okay, he's already bald, so we've got to hire him? First they went for a Lil, then they went for Bruce Campbell. No, not Bruce Campbell. Bruce, what's his name? Willis. And then they went for him.
I wish they went for me first.
You do it.
I'd be
Who
like,
loves you, baby?
$5.
You're not
I'll be
bald
happy.
enough. You got to work on this.
I will shave. I would bick it.
To be Kojak.
Sure. I think that's it, unless you guys have something else.
No, I think we're good.
All right. Well,
I think we're good.
That was a rowdy This Week in Geek.
Ended on Who Loves You, Baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. That was This Week in Geek for June 20th, 2015.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to
Yes.
you.
Blackhawks
and
won.
you and you.
Yes.
And
yes, they did.
Yeah. Yeah, and me.
And you.
And that's it. You get a Father's Day gift.
All
and
right.
You get
Woo.
a Father's Day gift. And no one else is getting it. Okay, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Blue Box.
Thank you.
Woo.